about Luke Murray presser yesterday?
I thought he was impressive.
Yeah.
You know, I just a really impressive guy, and you know, I wish Earl Grant the best. I mean, he worked his butt off here. Jeff Van Gundy called me. Jeff was my neighbor in Houston. He's an awesome guy, great basketball coach, but an even better person. And he said, this guy Luke Murray is awesome. And so, you know, when Blake and Father Leahy decided to hire him, I thought that was a great move by Boston College. And looking forward to getting to know Luke and you know, helping each other out as much as we can.
How much can you guys build each other up? You know, build the programs up together.
You know, look, at the end of the day, I love all the BC sports. I think, you know, we have head coaches meetings. Those are enjoyable. Getting to know everybody, whether it's, you know, Greg Brown, Acacia, now Luke, all the other coaches. It's been enjoyable. In the end, we all have to, you know, do our part in our own sports to win, but we definitely support each other, no doubt about it.
Just today, last practice before a break, what did you want to see out of them today?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, you know, in the beginning they came out a little sluggish in the walkthrough. In the beginning, kind of brought them up, read them the riot act a little bit, and they picked it up. You know, we got good leadership. These guys are working hard. There's good contact out there. They're trying to take care of each other, playing on their feet. And I thought we got a lot done, a lot of situational work, you know, whether it was last play of the game, get back on track, third down, first down, red area, a lot of good situational work, so a lot to build on. And have a great break, come back for the last four, ready to go.
They're obviously Division I athletes, so they're not going to completely, you know, stop working this weekend, but what's the message to them along those lines?
Well, I think it's Easter. I think it's important to reconnect with your family and, you know, get home and take a deep breath. I do ask them to, you know, do something. Don't lay on the couch for 4 days.
Yeah.
And also get in your playbook. You know, we don't want to start all over again when they come back. And also, I talk to them a lot about, can you pick 1, 2, maybe 3 things as an individual that you can get better at when you come back. Hey, look, I got to get better at these 3 things. I think individually, if you can get better, then the position gets better, then the unit gets better, and then the team gets better. And so I think it's very much of an improvement sport. So I want them to really think about that and come back and really work hard to get better at what they believe they need to get improved on.
Coach, on the note of
Yeah.
yesterday, you know, he jokingly and seriously kind of mentioned, you know, maybe you two go out to dinner and you know, do some more fundraising.
Yeah.
I know your focus is obviously, you know, coaching this team, but how much of your job description is like, you know, fundraising and doing those sort of things, and do you look forward to kind of working with Luke?
Yeah, I think during the off seasons, you know, sometimes the off seasons match up, that we can go out and meet alums. I did that at Penn State. Did that a lot at Penn State with Pat Chambers, who was the coach there, you know, 12, 13 years ago. I know Luke will be really good and receptive to that. I know the alums will be really excited to meet Luke. And, you know, I think that's important that we go out and we talk about our vision for, you know, for football and for basketball. And look, at the end of the day, money is involved, you know, and I think raising money is a huge thing. Nobody's done that better than Father Leahy, you know, over the course of his time here and the BC development team, advancement team, what they've done to raise money. And I think we as coaches, especially, you know, the revenue sports, you know, we need to do our job is to help raise that money when the off seasons can, you know, we can go out together and do that.
Just in terms of some of the players who you brought in for the transfer portal who are kind of making that jump from maybe like a lower level of Division I or Division II to this level, one of the ones who seems very impressive is Reed Swanson and his catch radius and the types of things he does when you know, he's just playing over defenders and stuff like that. Just tell me how exciting it is to have a player like that, and also what he needs to work on this offseason.
Yeah, it's very. We want to keep that on the down low a little bit. What's his name again? I don't know. No, he's done a great job. He's very competitive. He can run. He can jump. He's smart. Coming to us from Colgate, he wanted to test himself at the highest level that he could. Great family. They were awesome to deal with in the portal because those things happen fast. Had to work through a few things, you know, relative to his own situation, and he's just come in here and gotten better every single day. You know, then you look at Mason McKenzie coming from Saginaw, had a really good last 2 practices have been really sharp for Mason. So really excited. And there's other guys, you know, you got Demetrius Ballard from University of Buffalo. I know it's a Division I program, but it's not the ACC, and he's come in here and done a really good job. So I'm excited about those guys, the addition of all those portal guys. I think we've done a good job. Give Kenyatta and Julian, Cameron Rodriguez, give them a ton of credit because the vetting process, I think, has been good, and we got the right fits, I believe.
for Reed, it seems like his athleticism is there, but do you feel like he needs to add weight?
No, look, I think they will add weight naturally, like in the off season, in the summertime with 3 squares a day and weightlifting and all that. I do think as all receivers, because they run so much, we demand so much of them that they've always got to pay attention to that. But he's strong, he's strong. He's a strong player. You can put him in different spots and do different things with him, and he's been a good addition.
Sorry, Coach, kind of along those lines, with so many new guys coming in 3 weeks into spring practice, how have you seen them kind of mesh into the program and kind of get more comfortable as spring camp has gone on?
Yeah, I think it's been good. I'm very aware of that, and I think it's been really good. I think that they understand. It takes a while. Some of these guys arrived a little late, a couple days after classes started, and so to be at Boston College, as you know, like after classes start, that would be tough. You're going to in-person classes, and maybe at the previous school you were in a lot of Zoom classes. So their ability to acclimate to the classroom, their ability to acclimate to how we do things football-wise, I think it's been very impressive with all those guys.
You can make the argument that tight end is maybe your deepest position.
Yeah.
Haven't seen Kalen out there for a little while. One, how is he? And two, what have you liked about Brady and Danny and even Cameron as well?
Yeah, Kalen's working through some stuff right now. I'm not going to get into the details about that. We'll see how that goes throughout the summer. But I think those other guys have stepped up. Danny Angel had a good day today. Brady Clough, Kosman, he's done some really good things. Obviously Zeke Moore, sometimes we don't count him as a tight end because he's more of a fullback type, but he's one of the leaders of this football team. He's been great this spring in all roles that we've asked him to do. DJ Johnson has come along and done some good things. He's gotten a lot better. So I'm very, very happy about that whole group. And Kalen, like I said, working through some things, but hopefully he'll be back at some point.
Coach, one of the positives from last year was obviously the special teams. Thoughts on how they progressed from last year, and just looking at Andy Quinn out there, looks like he's put on a lot of weight.
Yeah, Andy's worked hard. Andy. I mean, we have high expectations for Andy. Very athletic. He can direct the punt. He's gotten stronger, like you noticed. Works very hard at it. It's very important to him. He's an awesome guy. Great fit for Boston College. Luca has had a great year last year, and he's come back. He's done a good job. Cooper Crook, long snapper. We have another long snapper coming in from Holy Cross. He'll be here in June, John Owens. But Crookie's done a great job with his role, and I think we have a lot of guys that are really starting to buy into whether it's Bo McCormick, Max Tucker, really bought into the core special teams. Those guys are going to play on offense and defense, but man, they've been leaders. When we do these special teams drills, which has been good to see.
We saw Christian Phillips talking a little smack out there. Just how contagious can that be, in the spring to have so much intensity?
Every team needs a Christian Phillips. He is nonstop, in nonstop energy, nonstop chatter, and he's done a great job coming in here from Michigan State. He's taken on a nice little leadership role. Him, Rob Smith, Michael Krauts up front, and I think they've done a good job. I give a lot of credit to Kurt Anderson. We got to keep it going, but I think he's done a really good job coaching those guys. They're coming off the rock. They're doing a lot of good things, but it gets competitive, and everybody wants to win, and Christian makes sure everybody knows that.
Just along those lines of just kind of the talking back and forth, I feel like the defensive backs are just always talking smack.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the nature of that position.
Is
right?
it? That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, no, they're fired up, and I think we need that. I don't try to clip their wings when it comes to that, as long as it doesn't go over. And our guys are good. They're not getting personal and things like that. They're just celebrating with each other. But yeah, there's always that little bit of smack talking between the receivers and the DBs. I kind of enjoy that. That's one of the favorite parts of practice.
2 sets of back-to-backs next week to end off.
Yeah.
What's the message about that in terms of both recovery and just how they approach it?
Yeah, I told them, again, like this was a tough practice, so take care of your bodies after this practice. I think that's always the case, Kevin. They've got to, their bodies are their business. They've got to, in order to be dependable to the football team, they got to be out there, right? And so, doing a good job of not sitting on the couch all weekend, making sure you do some things to be ready for when you get back. And then when we get back, we won't jump, right into a live scrimmage right away. We'll ease them back into it, but it'll be a tough week, so they'll have to do a good job of that.
And then next Saturday, will that be sort of a close to his game scrimmage yet?
Yeah, we're going to try to. We're going to, depending on the weather. It's really about, I really want to get a good practice. I don't want guys slipping and sliding. I don't think the fields are quite ready yet, so we've stayed in here. That's why the fish is so awesome to have. Next week, on the 11th, we'll try to go in the stadium and make it more like a game-like situation if the weather's right. If it's, 25 degrees, I probably won't do that. You know what I mean?
Who's the best trash talking DB you've either ever coached against or
Oh
coached
man,
for?
I've coached a lot of. I mean, where do you want me to begin? They're all, you know what I mean. Like, we had some great guys in Houston. Kareem Jackson, he was an awesome player, very smart. Jonathan Joseph, those guys were awesome. Alabama, because I was the offensive coordinator there, there was a lot of that. Jordan Battle, Kool-Aid, Terrion Arnold, those guys were great. And all, and it was the best trash talkers are the ones that there's humor involved. They're not really serious about it. It's just it's busting chops. You know what I mean? And so. But the Patriots, whether it was Sante Samuel, those guys were awesome at talking a little trash.
Coach, now that you'll be calling plays this year, I know it's just spring, but do you feel like your playbook is developing in the right way so far, even though it's super early?
Definitely.
With a bunch of new guys.
Yeah, definitely feel good about that. Definitely feel good about where we're headed. It'll be a completely new offense because of who we have, right? We have new players, Mason, Grayson, Femi, new guys, new skill sets. It's always about the quarterback. What can the quarterback do? And so we're developing that. The staff has been awesome. The whole staff, I've named those guys before, and the offensive staff's been, these guys have worked hard. They do all the work, they do a great job, and we've tried to every single day. We don't have like a strict installation. We want to install certain things, make sure we get red area, third down, get that 2-minute, all that. But at the end of the day, like, what are the plays that are the best for these guys to run to be successful? And I think we've done a good job of that so far.
Any final ones, guys?
Guys, good? All right, thanks
Thanks,
guys.
Coach.
Have a good Easter.